Good morning, Steve Hudson.
Morning, sir.
Do you have any doubts
No,
from
sir.
previous classes?
No, sir. None right now, sir.
Hello?
Sir, not right now, sir.
Not right now. Okay. Let's start with the question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Root 3 cosec 20 minus sec 20. So I'll give 4 options. It's the previous year JE question. Hey, come on. Try this quickly. What are we getting? Everybody, please unmute yourselves. Okay, let's begin. So, how do we solve this, guys? Any leads?
Sir, convert into sine and cos and take LCM.
Okay, correct. So, this becomes root 3 by sine 20 minus 1 by cos 20, which will further become root 3 cos 20 minus 1 into sine 20 divided by sine 20 into cos 20. All right. I'll divide and multiply by 2 because I know sine theta cos theta. 2 sine theta cos theta is nothing but sine 2 theta. Okay, then there is a 2 here. Right, 1 second. 1 second, guys. Um, okay. Yeah. So this is root 3 cos 2 theta into 1 sine 2 theta. I'll divide by root of a square plus b square, which is root of root 3 square plus 1 square, which is root of 4, and that is 2. So I'll divide and multiply by 2 here. So 2 into root 3 cos 2 theta minus sine, root 3 cos 20 minus sine 20. And then this 2 is multiplied, so I'll divide this by 2. And this will become 1 by 2. And what can I write this as? Is this sine A cos B? Sine 60 cos 20 minus cos A sine B. All right, what is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B? First 2 into 2 is 4. Here it will be sine of A minus B. Exactly. Sine 60 minus 20 divided by, this is not sine 2 theta, this is 2 sine 20 cos 20, which is sine 40. All right, so denominator is sine 40, numerator is sine 40. Your answer will be 4. Hope you got this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And guys, please try this on your own. Sin x divided by cos 3x plus sin 3x by cos 9x plus sin 9x by cos 27x. You have to prove that this is equal to half of tan 27x minus tan x. Okay, guys, what happens here? You have to prove that this is equal to this. Start solving. Okay, so let's start solving this. Here, I see sin x on top and cos 3x below. All right. So I'll write that sin x as 2 sin x cos x. And this cos 3x will help me multiply it by 2 cos x. Then the sin 3x by cos 9x, I'll write it as 2 sin 3x cos 3x. So then there'll be a 2 cos 3x here. Now, the third part is 2 sin 9x cos 9x. I'm multiplying it by 2 sin cos x, 2 cos 9x. Then multiplied by cos 27x cos 9x into 2. All right, got this much?
Yes, sir.
Continuing from here, what is the numerator here? Sin 2x. All right. And below, you'll see there'll be a 1 by 2 common, and there'll be a cos 3x cos x plus. Here numerator becomes sin 6x divided by cos 9x plus sin 18x divided by cos 27x cos 9x. Okay, guys, what do you do next? Guys, come on.
When we will take like LCM again.
Sorry?
Do you take like LCM again, sir?
LCM again. How? Okay, the LCM of the whole thing. Cos 3x, cos x, cos 9x, cos 27x. That's actually overcomplicating, man. Like that is one approach that is intuitive. Okay. You'd feel like taking LCM right now because you see common terms in the denominator, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why. But then it's not like one term is common to all the denominators. All right. So LCM, I wouldn't suggest LCM. But guys, just look at the angles. Can you figure something out? The angle in the numerator, the angles in the denominator, are they related?
Sir, if we subtract like
Sorry?
So you subtract
So
sin
can we
x.
apply the
Can we apply the?
formula in the denominator so that it becomes
Yes.
cos
Yes.
4x?
So two people
is cos.
said correctly right now. Okay. Both of you are right. This sin 2x I'll write it as sin 3x minus x. Just because I see the denominator here. Okay, divided by cos 3x cos x plus sin 9x minus 3x divided by cos 9x cos 3x plus sin 27x minus 9x divided by cos 9x cos 3x. All right, what happens here? This becomes sin 3x cos x minus cos 3x sin x. Okay, so Sin 3x cos x, when I divide it by cos 3x cos x will cancel out. What remains is sin 3x by cos 3x. All right, so I'll get sin 3x by cos 3x minus cos 3x sin 3x. Sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. That's the second part. So cos 3x sin 3x divided by this will have cos 3x cancel out, and you'll get sin x remaining on numerator, cos x in the denominator. Okay, plus the next part. Sin 9x cos 3x minus cos 9x sin 3x. So the first part will become tan 9x. The second part will become tan 3x. Here, the first part becomes tan 27x minus second part tan 9x. All right, so this is tan 3x. This is tan x. What happens here? Tan 3x minus tan x plus tan 9x minus tan 3x, which will cancel out. And this tan 9x will also cancel out. I'll get half of tan 27x minus tan x. All right. And this is the RHS. Got this, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so this is just get out all the identities. So A, B, and C are angles of a triangle. All right. You need to prove. Okay. So you need to prove that sine 2A plus sine 2B plus sine 2C equal to 4 sine A sine B sine C. All right. So this is your task. You have A plus B plus C. A, B, C as a triangle, which means A plus B plus C will be 180 degrees or pi radian. Okay. You have to prove that sine 2A plus sine 2B plus sine 2C equal to 4 sine A sine B sine C. Okay, let's begin. Let's get more questions after this. Okay. Any luck? Guys, any luck? Okay.
do we
What
write-
about sine? Sorry.
So do we write A is equal to pi minus B plus C?
A is equal to pi minus b plus c. Yeah, you will be using things like that. Like a plus b is equal to pi minus c. C is equal to pi minus a plus b. Like you can use any of that. So yes, yes, yes. So basically, to answer you, yes, you'll be using that. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, uh, sine 2a plus sine 2b. What can I write that as? How
2
can I make it
sine
a product? 2 sine
2 sine
2
2ab
sine 2a plus 2b
by 2. Correct. So that 2 will cancel out. And then
Cos
cos
minus
2a minus 2b
2b
A
by
minus
by
B.
2. Okay, so that becomes a minus b plus sine 2c. Okay. Now what can you do here? This sine theta, I can write it as sine pi minus a plus b. Right?
Isn't pi minus c?
Yeah. So I can do that itself actually directly. Yeah. I don't need to write this way. Because sine theta, sine pi minus theta is the same. I went for that, but that is actually unnecessary. Right. So this becomes cos a minus b plus sine 2c. Okay. So now what happens next? What do you do? What is sine pi minus c? Sine c itself, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then do sine c cos a minus b plus this sine 2c I'll write it as 2 sine c cos c. Okay. So here you can take 2 sine c common. Cos a minus b plus cos c. All right. What next? Look, we got 2 sine c from the answer here already. Okay. What you need next is look at the answer also. Look at the RHS, what you're trying to prove here. And so what do we need next? We need 2 into sine A into sine B. So we don't need C term anymore. Remember that. So this cos C, I will convert it into cos of pi minus A plus B. Okay. Guys, I need your responses. I'm talking to a camera right now. Please understand this.
Yes, sir. Cos pi minus A plus B is cos A plus B.
Cos pi minus A plus B is minus cos.
Minus cos A plus B.
Okay. All right. That negative sign, don't forget. Other than that, it was absolutely right. Okay. So it becomes minus cos A plus B. And then you have cos of A minus B. Okay. What next?
Take the minus. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Sir, you
Make
apply
it a
that formula.
product.
Sir.
Apply the
Product.
formulas.
Sine.
Cos
Which
C minus
formula?
cos D.
Okay. What is the formula for cos C minus cos D?
2 sine C plus D minus 2 sine C plus D.
Minus 2.
But then you
Minus 2
apply
sine?
my negative sign inside the angle.
Exactly. So minus 2 sine, this plus this by 2. So that will become what? 2a by 2, which is a. And then sine this minus this by 2. Okay, so
Minus
a and a will cancel out. Minus b and minus b will become minus 2b by 2. So that will become sine of minus b. Okay, into 2 sine c. All right, so you have this, and you can write this total as minus 4 sine a Sin B, sin C. But sin B had a minus, sign of minus B it was. So that minus comes out here as plus, and this becomes your RHS. Got this?
Yes, yes.
Okay, guys, this actually is pretty useful. Quickly apply this in this question. Sin 50 plus sin 100 plus sin 210 divided by sin 25, sin 50, sin 105. Okay, this is 50 actually. 1 second. Okay, sin 50, sin 100, sin 210 divided by sin 25, sin 50, sin 105. Okay, guys, what do these angles add up to?
180.
Check.
Those add up to 360.
360. This is sin 2a plus sin 2b plus sin 2c. Okay, where a plus b plus c is adding up to 180. Okay, so if you check the denominator also, you'll see it. Okay, they add up to 180. So here, this is sin 2a, this is sin 2b, this is sin 2c. When I add them up, what do I get?
4 sin A sin
That
B.
is the answer 4.
Exactly. 4 sin a, which is 50 by 2. Sin b, which is 100 by 2. Sin c, which is 210 by 2, which is 105. Divided by this same thing again in the denominator. All right. And then you just simply cut them off. And that's it. Your answer will be 4. Any doubts here, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Your next is another question. That's the next property. Tan A plus tan B plus tan C, where A plus B plus C is equal to pi in a similar fashion. Find out. Come on. Like you're converting that sum into a product of a few terms. What will the product be? Like now you should remember that sin 2a plus sin 2b plus sin 2c, whenever the angles A, B, and C add up to 100, 180 or pi, okay, will turn out to be 4 into sin A, sin B, sin C. Okay. So similarly, this tan A plus tan B plus tan C, what can you do?
So write it as sine by cos, and then take LCM.
No, that I wouldn't suggest that because it can turn out too cumbersome. Like this is sine A by cos A, so everything will be divided by. So this first term will be multiplied by cos B into sine C. Second term will be multiplied by cos A into sine C. So that I wouldn't suggest is the best method, because after that, what will you do after that step?
Or just do the first two, and then I get sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. That you can write it as sine of A plus B.
Divided by.
Oh, cos A cos B.
So yeah, exactly. That part will be tricky. You have to convert that into A plus B form. Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
so here what we can do is you can say that A plus B is nothing but pi minus C, or you can say C is nothing but pi minus A plus B. Right. So we have tan A plus tan B. Okay. So what I want you to see is tan C can be written as tan of pi by 2 minus A plus B. Am I right? Because C is pi by 2 minus A plus B. Okay. All right. So what happens
Yes.
next? So this I write as tan of pi minus theta is minus tan theta. Okay. Minus tan A plus B. Okay. And what is tan A plus B? So I'll take the minus to this side. Minus tan C equal to plus this thing. Minus tan C equal to tan A plus B. What is that? Tan A plus tan B by 1 minus tan A tan B. Got this? Guys, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, then I'll just continue. So I'll get minus tan C plus tan A tan B tan C equal to tan A plus tan B. I'll rewrite this whole thing. I'll get tan A plus tan B plus tan C. I'll take this to that term and write that as the LHS. And then this RHS, this becomes the RHS. Just tan A, tan B into tan C. Any doubts here, guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Also,
All right, so this is the answer. That's it. Okay. Please note this down quickly. Okay, noted it. Guys, did you note this?
Yes, sir.
yes,
Okay. So, yep. 3. You have a function like this, 3 sine 2x plus 4 cos 2x plus 3. You have to find the minimum and maximum value of this function. Basically, in other words, find the range of f of x. Can you try this? Come on.
So is it minus 4 to 10?
Minus 4 to 10. No. But can you explain the process, like how you got there? Because then
Sir,
I think it's a silly
I,
mistake somewhere. That's right. You're
sir, I
close.
blindly substituted range of sign is minimum is minus 1, maximum is plus 1 for
So
cos also.
cos also will be minus 1 to 1 and then plus 3. So the minimum will be minus 3, minus 4, plus 3, which is minus 4. Maximum will be 3, 4, 3, which is 10. So that's how we got minus 4 to 10. Okay. All right. Look, so there's a caveat here, okay? This is not correct because, like, whenever you see, you're assuming a minimum value, okay? So sine 2x is minus 1 here. In the first case, you're looking for the minimum. You say sine 2x is minus 1. And then you say the minimum of cos 2x is also minus 1. That is true. But can both be minus 1 at the same time?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That doesn't happen, okay? So that, like, actually restricts the range. So you got from minus 4 to 10, but the actual answer is actually within that. So you're getting a wider range because of this method. All right. So I'll show you what we need to do. So we have, just look at sine 3 sine 2x plus 4 sine 2x. Okay. Plus 4 cos 2x. There's a plus 3, which I'll just keep it aside for now. Okay. All right. So this term here, 3 sine 2x plus 4 cos 2x, I will divide both sides and multiply both sides by a number. What will that be? So I told you, right? If you have an a sine theta plus b cos theta, okay, what do you do first? You try to make a triangle out of it. Basically, you take a and b, add their squares up, and take the root of it. Okay, so you take this root of a square plus b square, multiply and divide by both. All right. So in this case, what's root of 3 square plus 4 square?
5.
5. Okay, so you divide both sides by that and multiply both sides by 5. Okay, why am I doing this? So once I divide by root of a square plus b square, so you have some a and some b. You make it the sides of the triangle. All right. And then when you divide by root a square plus b square, you're bringing in a by root a square plus b square. What is that? That is cos of this theta. B by root a square plus b square will be sine of this angle that you're imagining inside your head, okay, to be theta. All right, so 3 by 5, you write it as some cos alpha. Okay, so you have sine 2x into cos alpha plus. So this will be the corresponding sine alpha. Okay, if this is something you're taking as cos alpha, 4 by 5 will be the corresponding version of sine alpha. So you have cos 2x into sine alpha. Are you following what I'm saying here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have 5 into sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, which will be sine 2x plus alpha, sine a plus b. Okay, any doubts here? Okay,
No, sir.
and so you know that sine ax plus b, or forget that, sine of anything is between minus 1 and 1. All right. Okay, sine of anything is between minus 1 and 1, and that you're multiplying by 5. Okay, so that will fetch you a quantity between minus 5 and 5. Did you get this? So basically, this item, 5 into sine 2x plus alpha, is between 5 and minus 5. But what do we need? We need this plus 3. Okay, so I'm adding 3 to each of these parts. Okay, so I get my answer between minus 2 and 8. Okay, instead of minus 4 and 10, it's a little within it. It's between minus 2 and 8. Did you get this now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Guys, please solve it, guys, faster than I'm solving. Try to solve it, or just tell me I'm not able to get it so that I can start solving. Don't silently wait, okay? Please. Like, you have to understand that, okay, I know it's weird for you to look at a screen and learn, but it's much more weirder for me to look at a screen and talk, okay, without getting any responses. So please, guys, respond, okay?
Okay, sir.
No, actually, enough of this a plus b plus equal to pi. We'll move to general solutions. All right. General solutions are fun. Just get there directly. So just take some questions and explain. Hmm. Okay. So for general solution, I wanted you to remember a few things. All right. So what do you mean by general solution, guys? Anybody? Suppose you get sine theta equal to 0 and you want to find the general solution. What do you mean by that? Finding general solution?
So generalizing
General.
all the values. Theta.
Exactly. So we don't take within a certain range. You look for all the values of theta that can satisfy sine theta equal to 0. Okay. So you write it as an integral multiple of something so that you have all the infinite solutions. You know that sine theta, okay, sine theta is periodic and goes on like this. So if sine theta becomes 0 somewhere, you know for sure infinite times it'll keep becoming 0 at different places. Did you get this? And we are trying to bring all of that into our solution. All right. So we have sine theta equal to 0. This happens here. Then next sine theta equal to 0 happens at theta equal to pi. Next is at 2 pi. Next is 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi, and so on. Okay. Minus pi, minus 2 pi. Guys, are you getting this?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you say about theta? You will say theta is what?
N pi.
Look at the screen. No, tell me.
N pi.
It is n pi. All right. I'm giving you full tosses here. Okay. So whenever you see theta, sine theta equal to 0, it means theta is equal to n pi. Okay. So from the graph itself, you can get it. All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you have cos theta equal to 0, what can you say about theta?
2n plus 1 pi by 2.
Exactly. So here, you can look at this as 2n pi by 2 and this one as 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Why am I doing that? This is an odd multiple of pi by 2. The upper one will be an even multiple of pi by 2. Think like that. All right. Because cos theta is the same graph shifted this way. So if I draw the axis here, okay, this becomes a cos theta graph. All right. So I just redraw it anyway. Okay. So here at pi by 2, it happens. At 3 pi by 2, it becomes 0. At 5 pi by 2, it becomes 0. You should see here at all the odd multiples of pi by 2. Okay, so minus pi by 2, then comes minus 3 pi by 2, and so on. Okay, so at all the odd multiples of pi by 2, you get cos theta equal to 0. Got this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if I say tan theta equal to 0, when does that happen?
N pi.
N pi.
N pi, exactly, because tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. So whenever the numerator becomes 0, tan theta also becomes 0. So you just need to check where does sin theta become 0, all right? And if you want to verify, look at the graph of tan theta. Okay, so minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. It goes like this. And then next minus pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2. It goes like this. All right. So at 0, at pi, at 2 pi, it will become 0. All right. Because it's periodic. If it's 0 here once, pi units away, you'll get another 0. Pi units this way, you'll get another 0. Okay. All right. So you get n pi itself. Okay. So this much you can manage, right? Now what do we need? Okay. Now prepare for the next part. If you have sine theta equal to some sine alpha. So guys, one thing I want you to understand is a principal value range. Do you know this principal value range? For sine, it'll be between
0 and 2 pi.
0 and 2 pi. For cos, it'll be between
0 and 2 pi only.
okay, no. For sine, you're looking between minus pi by 2 and plus pi by 2. Okay, let's take this. For cos, you'll be taking between 0 and pi. So look at functions like this: sine-based functions and cos-based functions. Okay. So sine, you'll be taking between sine-based functions. You'll be taking between minus pi by 2 and plus pi by 2. So sine, tan, then cosec. Okay, these will be taking between minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. For cos, cot, and sec, you'll be taking between 0 and pi, because all the values of sine, cosec, tan, sine, tan, cosec will be between minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 to 0 is the fourth quadrant. So we look at it as a minus 1th quadrant. Okay. 0 to pi by 2, it's which quadrant? It's the first quadrant. So sine, tan, cosec, all of them will be positive in the first quadrant, negative in the second quadrant. So the positive values are there in the first quadrant. All its negative values will be there in the fourth quadrant. Okay, the minus 1th quadrant. Are you following now?
Yes, sir.
Guys, if you didn't follow, please ask. Srivachan, unmute yourself, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aditi, you too.
Understood.
All right. So we have sec x minus. Okay, sorry. We have cos x, cot x, and sec x between 0 and pi. So that is the first and second quadrant. All right. So first and second quadrant. So first quadrant, sec, cot, cos will be positive. In the second quadrant, sec, cos, cot will be negative. All right. So this will be the principal value ranges. Okay. So now let's assume alpha is in the principal value range for sine. Okay. So now how do you represent theta in a general term? Like how do you find the general solution of sine theta equal to sine pi? Okay. So you have some sine theta equal to sine pi. Sine alpha, sorry. So here what do? You notice that you're taking alpha between minus pi by 2 and plus pi by 2, right? So somewhere between this and this will be this alpha angle. But then you're looking for any sine theta which matches this value here, sine alpha. Okay, which can be here, and so on. How do you represent this? Guys, you guys did general solution, right? Can you please talk to me? What do you do here?
N pi plus minus 1 power n alpha.
Thank you. Okay, we'll progress faster now. Thank you. So sine theta equal to n pi plus minus 1 power n alpha. Just remember this. If it is on this side, like if you're starting from a positive, you're starting from an even value of pi. This, minus 2 pi and so on. You'll see it's just what? N pi plus alpha. Now, if you're starting from an odd value of pi, like pi, 3 pi, what happens? You're going n pi minus alpha. You're moving this side, okay, to get to this. So there you get n pi minus alpha. So how do you differentiate? When n is even, it becomes plus. So that's why that minus 1 power n is coming. Okay, this minus 1 power n. When n is even, it becomes plus. When n is odd, it becomes minus. Okay, that is where this minus 1 power n is coming. I hope you understood this. All right. Now, you have cos theta equal to cos alpha. What can you say about theta?
2 and pi plus or
2
minus
and
alpha.
Minus alpha.
Okay, plus or minus alpha. That's it. All right. You get 2 and pi plus or minus alpha. So the thing is, cos theta will go something like this. You're looking for a value here, which will be alpha, right? And then you have 2 and pi, 0 plus or minus alpha. cos theta and cos of minus theta is the same. So, okay, so minus alpha will be there. Then next one will be where? So this becomes 2 pi. So 2 pi again, plus or minus alpha again. All right. 2 pi plus alpha, 2 pi minus alpha. Then 4 pi plus or minus alpha. Minus 2 pi plus or minus alpha. You should be able to see it through the figure. All right. That's how I want you to think about all this. Are you getting this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you have tan theta equal to tan alpha, what happens?
N pi plus alpha.
Theta is equal to n pi plus alpha. Okay. All right. That's it. It's as simple as that. Because after pi, it repeats. Okay. Tan theta. All right. Now, okay. So just remember all this. Then, what else do I want you to remember? Okay. So once you're done remembering till here, let's move on to the next set. Sine square theta equal to sine square alpha. Cos square theta equal to cos square alpha. Tan square theta equal to tan square alpha. If you get any of these, all right, you can directly write theta equal to n pi plus or minus alpha. Okay, remember this, please. This is the next important thing I want you to remember. Whenever you get sine square theta equal to sine square alpha, or cos square theta equal to cos square alpha, or tan square theta equal to tan square alpha, you get theta equal to n pi plus or minus alpha. All right. Okay, so what you can do is you can prove it this way. I'll show you with sign. The rest you can take care of on your own. So what is sine square theta minus sine square alpha? Okay, this is your clue. From here you proceed. All right. Okay, for lack of time, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, from here you proceed. You use the sum of angle and difference of angle. Okay, to get to the answer. So, and then you'll be equating both to 0. Either of these can be 0. So that's why you get two options here. All right. Okay, so, all right. So if someone tells you sine theta is equal to 1, what's the general solution? Sine theta equal to 1, what is the general solution?
N pi plus minus 1 power n pi by 2.
That's minus 1 power n pi by 2. All right. You don't need to do all that. You can just say. So there's another way to remember this, okay? So sine theta is equal to 1 between 0 to, okay, between minus pi by 2, and I'm putting 2 pi here also. Okay, so that we'll travel properly. This is pi, and then 2 pi. Okay, so sine theta equal to 1, you can see it happens only once here. Between 0 and 2 pi, that's the entire repeating unit. All right, you can see it happens only once here. So here, it's not like this is wrong, okay? N pi plus pi by plus minus 1 power n pi by 2. Because here, when you put an odd multiple of pi, like an even multiple, like 0, so then it becomes plus pi by 2. If you take an odd multiple of pi, then you get pi minus pi by 2, which is pi by 2 itself. So you're getting pi by 2 twice. So to just avoid that redundancy, it doesn't really matter, but this is one way of looking at it, okay? So you just write it as 2n pi plus pi by 2. Okay, within 0 to pi by 2, 1 happens only at one place, at pi by 2. So you can see that every unit next, the next 2 pi units, from 2 pi to 4 pi, there also will happen at 2 pi plus pi by 2. There 1 will happen, nowhere else. Okay, so you can rewrite this as 4n plus 1 pi by 2. That's all I wanted to show here. Okay. Sine theta is equal to 1, you can remember it as theta equal to 4n plus 1 pi by 2. If sine theta equal to minus 1, what happens? Theta is equal to 4n minus 1 pi by 2. Okay, so this is becoming odd, and then you get minus pi by 2 here. Are you following?
Yes.
Sorry.
Sir.
Okay, 2n pi minus pi by 2 is for sine theta equal to minus 1. All right. Now, if you get cos theta equal to 1, what can you say about theta if you get cos theta equal to 1?
Four n plus one pi.
No, not 4n plus 1 pi. Think, where does cos theta become 1?
Sir, just 2n pi, sir.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So cos theta becomes 1 at the point 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, minus 2 pi. Okay. And so on. So basically, you have to understand that cos theta is equal to 1. Between 0 and 2 pi happens at 0 and 2 pi. Okay. And that keeps repeating at 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, and so on. So that's why you say theta is nothing but an even multiple of pi. All right. If you get cos theta equal to minus 1, what can you say about theta? Cos theta equal to minus 1. It'll be, where does this happen? Cos pi is minus 1. Cos 3 pi is minus 1. Cos 5 pi is minus 1. At any odd multiple of pi. Guys, remember this, okay? At any odd multiple of pi. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I hope you've written all this down. So n is any integer. No. Actually, what you can do is, right now try to prove that sine square theta equal to sine square alpha. Try to prove the general solution for this. Guys, the proofs are there in the NCERT book, whatever I said, okay? If you are not following that, please ask. So this one proof, I don't think is there. That's why I'm giving it right now. Sine square theta equal to sine square alpha. How would you deal with this? Okay, what do you do here? I'll write sine square theta in terms of cos 2 theta, even for sine square alpha. Can you do that? What will happen?
1 plus cos 2 theta by 2.
1 minus. Okay. So
Minus.
cos square theta is 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. This will be 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. This is equal to 1 minus cos 2 alpha by 2. Okay. So I'll cut this out. I'll cut the 1 out after that. So I'll get finally cos 2 alpha equal to cos 2 theta. Okay. Now, what is next? I'll let cos 2 theta equal to cos 2 alpha. What happens next?
Sir, does that imply cos theta is equal to cos alpha?
No. All right. Oh, yes. Actually, wait. What am I saying? Cos theta is equal to cos alpha, but that does not mean theta is equal to alpha.
Yes,
It means
sir.
cos theta equal to cos alpha, but that is not where you want to go. You can generalize it here itself. You can say that
Oh, 2
2
theta is
theta.
equal to.
Yeah. If cos theta equal to cos alpha, what do you say? You say that theta is equal to 2n pi plus or minus alpha,
Plus
right?
one. Yes, sir.
So here, instead of
2 theta is
theta,
equal
it's
to-
2 theta, and instead of alpha, it's 2 alpha. So 2 theta equal to 2n pi plus or minus 2 alpha. Got this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what do? You cancel the 2's out. And then you get theta equal to n pi plus or minus alpha. Okay. So if you get cos square theta, the question is cos square theta equal to cos square alpha. What would you have done? You would write as 1 plus cos 2 theta, 1 plus cos 2 alpha by 2. All right. And then you cancel out, you get the same result here. And from there you get theta equal to n pi plus or minus alpha. All right. Okay. Now similarly, you can do the same thing for sine square theta also.
Sir, I have an 80 mark test in like 10 minutes, sir. So can I take some time off and just revise?
You want to leave or you want to
Yeah, yes, sir. I have a computer science exam now. Can I leave the meeting?
computer science
cancel-
exam?
Yes, sir.
8:30 is putting exam. Okay, cool.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, your question is to find x where tan 3x minus tan 2x divided by 1 plus tan 3x into tan 2x is equal to 1. Okay, you have to find the values of x for which this is true. Come on.
Is it 2n plus 1 pi by 4?
1 plus 1 pi by 4. How did you get 2n plus 1 pi by 4? Huh?
Sir, this whole equation comes as tan x.
Correct. Okay. Tan x is equal to 1. Tan 3x minus 2x. Okay, guys, that's what he meant. So tan x is equal to 1. And then
Then at
this
first
one you can write
quadrant
it
and
as
third quadrant.
tan pi by 4, right?
Yes, sir.
And then what do you do?
I just saw the quadrants, sir. Third
X is
quadrant tan
equal
is
to-
positive.
Yeah. So this is how you do it. Like I told you, right? If you get tan theta equal to tan alpha, you have to remember all that. Okay. You should say that theta is equal to n pi plus alpha. Okay. So in this case, x will be equal to n pi plus alpha, and alpha is pi by 4. Okay, guys?
Yes,
Did
sir.
you get this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now my solution will be x equal to n pi plus pi by 4, and which will be 4n plus 1 pi by 4. This is too fancy. This is not required. This looks simple enough. Okay, n pi plus pi by 4. Now, so your option A will be n pi plus pi by 4. Your option B will be n pi minus pi by 4. Option C will be no solution. Option C will be some other solution, n pi plus minus 1 raised to n pi by 4. Then the fourth part will be no solution. What would you take on?
Option A.
Option A.
You will think it's option A, but it is wrong. Okay. So when you find a solution, all right. So that's one tricky part about solving. When you find a solution, you have to put it back in the first equation and see if it works. So if I put x equal to n pi plus pi by 4, it just means that tan x is equal to 1 is what I solved. But my question was this, right? Okay, there is a tan 3x here. So what's 3x? Will be 3n pi plus 3 pi by 4. Okay, tan of 3x looks fine here. 3n pi plus 3 pi by 4 will be plus or minus 1. Okay. Next, we have 2x also. 2x will be what? 2n pi plus pi by 2, right? We have tan 3x and tan 2x. So I'm just putting the value here. What is tan 3x? What is tan 2x? All right. So tan 2x, there's an issue. What is it? If I put n equal to 0, I get tan pi by 2. So at pi by 2 and all, it becomes infinity. It's not defined, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you put this value of x into this? Is it possible for you to put this value of x into this equation? N pi plus pi by 4.
No, sir.
For tan 3x, it's fine. For tan 2x, it's not defined. Okay. So that solution cannot be accepted for the first equation given. Did you understand, guys, why this is happening? Because tan 2x will not be defined, this solution is not feasible. Got this? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, so the answer will be option D, no solution. Okay. So this is how you check. Once you find the final answer, put it back in the original equation, see if it's working or not. All right. Give another question. Solve for this. Guys, put the sine terms together, put the cosec terms together. What do you get?
Sin x plus 1 the whole square and
Exactly. You can split this as sin x plus 1 the whole square plus cosec x plus 1 the whole square equal to 0. Am I right? Is that what you meant?
yes, sir.
Okay. So, how do you proceed from here? Any idea? Yes, please speak. Aditi, put yourself on, unmute yourself, please.
I don't know, sir. I just figured
Hmm?
this much out and I don't know.
Sorry?
I'm not sure what to do after this.
Okay. So, look, guys, I want you to notice. You're getting the sum of two square terms equal to 0. All right. So, notice here carefully that this first term is a perfect square. It will be greater than or equal to 0. Second term is a perfect square greater than or equal to 0. And the sum of both is equal to 0. That means only one thing, okay? Sum of two non-negative quantities being equal to the minimum value it can take, 0. All right. means that for that to happen, sin x plus 1 whole square should be equal to 0. At the same time, cosec x plus 1 the whole square should also be equal to 0, which means sin x plus 1 itself is equal to 0 and cosec x plus 1 is equal to 0 at the same time. Are you following? All right. So you should get that sin x is equal to minus 1 and cosec x should also be equal to minus 1. Now, writing cosec x equal to minus 1 is same as writing sin x equal to minus 1. Okay. So both of them point to the fact that what? Sin x is equal to minus 1. Now, if sin x is equal to minus 1, what can you say about x? X is 4n minus 1 pi by 2. That's it. This is how you solve it. All right. Now, can I put this back into this equation? Yes, sin x is defined. It will become minus 1 at this point. So this is nothing but, all right, got this. So you're just rearranging this to this. So there's no problem as such when you substitute it back. Are you following or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No doubts here?
No, sir.
Right.
Guys, is this something you already know?
No.
No, sir. We learned
No.
a little bit last year, but we learned last year, but not sums like this. Some of the sums you gave.
Ayo. Okay, guys. These are the tricks they ask in JEE. Okay, they'll put you in a situation where you're like stuck, and you have to just basically relax and think out of the box. That's how it works. Okay, here what can I do? So just remember, this is one special type of thing that keeps coming almost every year. All right, like sum of two squares add up to 0, which means both the squares individually have to be 0. All right. Okay, remember this. Now, if I give you another equation like root of x square minus 3x plus 2 plus okay. So how do you solve this? Okay, sorry, one second, my bad. Just remove one thing. Okay. How do you solve this equation? Let's try solving this. Guys, are you solving this?
Yes, sir.
So why is the last term in a modulus, sir?
It's a question I'm asking. This is the question. So solve this question. It's like you don't ask for why is this question there, right? It's something like that. So
Sir, is
It's-
x is equal to 2.
x is equal to 2 is right. All right. So you have to understand that this is a root term. Anything inside the root has to be, anything coming outside the root also will be positive. That's what I meant. Okay. Anything from a root term will be greater than or equal to 0. Not positive, non-negative, greater than or equal to 0. Now, this is a perfect square. This also should be greater than or equal to 0. This is a modulus. This is also greater than or equal to 0. Now, for the sum of these three parts to become 0, what will happen? You need each of these parts individually to be exactly equal to 0. All right. So then this becomes x minus 2, x minus 1, root of plus x minus 2 the whole square. So this should be equal to 0. This should be equal to 0. And this is nothing but x minus 2 the whole square being equal to 0. This question is pretty lame. Okay. Now, here you get x equal to 2 comma 1 for it to be equal to 0. You need x equal to 2 for it to be equal to 0, x equal to 2 for it to be equal to 0. But what will my solutions be? My answer? X is equal to 2. So why? Why is 1 not included?
Because it doesn't fit the other terms.
Exactly. You need this, and this to be 0 at the same time. Okay, this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0, and this is equal to 0 at the same time. So unless a solution is common to all of them, it's not your solution. All right? Got that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you guys remember complex numbers?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you know that sine theta plus I cos theta equal to e power I theta? Do you know this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hey, this thing z would be z is any complex number which can be written as r into
Yes, sir.
sine theta plus I
Yes, sir.
cos theta plus I sine theta. My bad. This you know, right? Polar form.
Polar form.
Okay. This is Euler's form after that. R into e power I theta. Okay. So it's nothing but e power I theta is sine theta plus, sorry, cos theta plus I sine theta. What am I writing here? Okay. Guys, please be alert, okay? If you see something that is wrong, please call me out on that. Okay, so it's cos theta plus I sine theta, which is e power I theta. All right. So remember this. This is called Euler's form. In Malayalam, Euler. Okay. So you have Euler's form like this. And cos theta plus I sine theta equal to e power I theta. So never forget this, okay? This is very important. This can save yourself in a lot of situations. Like, for example, if you want to prove sine of a plus b, the proof is generally very complicated. Okay. There is a circle you draw, there are many angles in between, you mark out. Okay. But here, sine of a plus b, we can prove using this. All right. So I will say that e power ia is equal to cos a plus I sin a. Got this? Now e power ib will be cos b plus I sin b. All right. So I'll multiply both of them together. So what will I get here? E power I a plus ib, which becomes e power I a plus b. So I'm multiplying both of them together, okay? So then here what will happen? I'll get cos a into cos b plus cos a into sin b into I plus I sin a into cos b plus sin a sin b into I square. I square is minus 1. Okay. Oh, sorry. I square is minus 1. So it becomes like this. So I'll put the real part and imaginary part separately. So what is the real part here? Cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Okay. Now the imaginary part will be plus I into cos a cos b cos a sin b plus sin a cos b. I'll put this here. All right. Okay. Now remember, e power I theta is cos theta. What is theta here? A plus b. Plus I sin theta. A plus b. Guys, are you following this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, this formula is very important for complex numbers, okay, for JE level. So you'll have to learn it anyway. E power I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. It's called Euler's form. Remember this. All right, it's very important. I don't think it's there in your in your NCRT book, but this, please guys, remember this, okay? It's very useful in a lot of places. Right. So when so here I have one one complex number equal to another complex number. So what can I do? I can equate the real part and the imaginary part. So you get cos A plus B. Okay, cos A plus B equal to cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. At the same time, what else am I proving? Sin A plus B is equal to sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So similarly, I can do sin A minus B. I just need to, what? I have e power IA, e power IB. All right, I just need to divide both of them. I'll get e power I A minus B, and everything else will fall into place accordingly. All right, this is actually pretty nice. Okay, guys, got this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my next question to you is, what is happening to you in school? What is being taught in school right now? Shriyarni, for you?
Integration.
Hmm?
Integration.
Integration, huh? Okay. Siddharth, you?
Portions completed.
12th portions are completed.
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Okay. So, all right. Aditi,
Vector and detail.
Vector 3D. All right. Sanjana,
Integration.
integration. Now, Rahul?
Integration.
Sorry?
Integration. Sir.
Integration. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, so all of you have done inverse trigonometric functions.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So before the next class, can you do me one favor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you do the NCRT exercise and then come to the class with doubts? We'll finish the chapter at the earliest. That's why. Inverse trigonometry should not take much time, in my opinion. That's why. All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is an important topic. I'm not saying it's not, but just practice and come. Would you do that for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You're not doing that for me, okay? You're doing that for yourself. End of the day, please understand that. But please do that. That's what I'm asking you. Okay. So next class we'll do inverse trigonometric functions, and hopefully start calculus right after that. Calculus we should finish at the earliest, and then we'll get into the other topics. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay. Do you have any doubts with today's class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Huh? Okay. All right. Fine. How is math for you? How is math for you? Can you tell me that? I really want to know. Like, what is? Like,
Okay,
was
sir.
it boring? Now it's interesting, or it was interesting? Now it's boring. You can tell me on my face directly. I'm looking for feedback. That's why.
No, sir. It's interesting only, always.
Okay, I'll have to ask everybody one by one. Huh? Rahul. Rahul, buddy, how's math?
Interesting only. Interesting
sir.
only.
Interesting, huh?
Some topics are boring.
And of course, some topics will be boring. What are the boring parts? Tell me.
Of course, relations and functions.
Relations and
Right.
functions is boring. Okay, huh? And
That's it, sir.
sorry,
That's it, I guess.
that's it.
From what
Okay,
I read.
we've only done relations and functions, right? Now we just entered trigonometry. Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Then Shriyarni, what about you?
Science topics are a little bit tricky, I feel.
Which?
Trigonometry.
Okay, so for you, trigonometry, practice 500 questions. That's the best way out. Like, if you think the basic formulas are where you're struggling, then practice that first. Practice that really well, then only move into the advanced formulas. Okay, which means NCRT first and then do the other formulas to get the grasp of it. But if you already know the NCERT formulas, like I don't know your level of prep, all right. So if you're already comfortable with the NCERT formulas, make sure your next 500 problems are based on the new set of formulas you learned for JEE. Okay. Now, Rahul, for functions to be interesting, you've done calculus, right? Calculus.
Yes. Yes.
Is that interesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's the relations part that is boring for you, not the functions part.
Yes, sir. Relation.
Okay. Leave it. Relations is not that important. Okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, you can actually leave it. But understand the basic concept of what that is. But you can leave the topic as such. For JEE and all. It's not like that important or anything. All right. So good choice. Okay. Then okay, Siddharth, what about you?
It's interesting, sir.
Okay, Aditi.
It's interesting, but like some of the larger questions when it comes to calculus, like derivation, all that, I see when I'm going through it, I know how to solve it. But then when I actually sit down and solve it, it gets way too long. Especially like not even the actual calculus part, when you're like simplifying it after solving it and like all that.
I didn't understand your doubt again. Can you please repeat that, Aditi?
So like some questions in integration and like derivation, when you're solving when you're like looking to them, you know how to do, like the standard steps to solve them.
Yeah.
But then when you actually sit down and solve them and you have to simplify them, right? They get like very long and very tedious and
All right. So it just looks scary, huh? Is that the point?
When you
Like
sit down to solve it and looking at the sum, it's not scary at all. But then when you sit and solve it, it's
okay. For you, the only advice is practice only, okay? Because once you do like the same kind of problem a couple of times, like okay, say 3 times. So whenever you see a similar problem, you will solve it in that method. Okay. And you're in a stage where you haven't seen everything yet, but you want to try to solve everything. That is what I feel. Okay. So like you just keep practicing. I think you're on the right track only here. Like what you're doing is you're actually solving it. That's why you're coming across this problem. All right. So you have to just increase the solving time. And with practice, your speed will automatically improve. Okay. Don't worry about that. Because once you see everything, you'll be like, okay, this is, your brain will automatically compartmentalize everything. Like, okay, this is what you can do here. This is what I can do here. So once that is fixed, that'll be done once you do your second revision, frankly. Not your first revision, your second revision. So once you complete the portions, that's the first time you're learning it. Then you revise it, the whole thing, so that you don't forget it at constant interval. That's the first revision. Then comes second revision, where you do the same thing again. A different bunch of questions, but the same thing again. All right. So once your second revision is done, is when that problem completely goes away. Not completely, like there'll always be scope for improvement with speed, but you'll understand that it won't look that scary anymore. All right. Like it'll look like something that can be okay. There's a manageable. It's a little tricky, but it's manageable. Okay.
Yes.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
And so okay, you need to practice a little more. I think your confidence will boost after that. Right. Sanjana, what about you?
Math is interesting, but I think I need to solve more of JEE level problems.
Yes. If you're done with portions, right? Like I think Siddharth was done with the portions, right? So Siddharth, if you're done with the portions and if you're seriously sitting for JEE, and I think Sanjana, you also come under the same category. Start doing previous year JEE question papers. Okay. Like whenever you get the opportunity to solve a JEE problem, please do it. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So try making a habit, all of you, okay, of doing a few JEE problems whenever you can. So that your confidence should increase. Like end of the day, there are 2 parts here. One is your preparation. Okay, for the exam. But then how much ever you prepare, right? If you walk into the exam hall tensed, what is going to happen? I'm getting scared. there is all that preparation is a waste. Because to remember what you prepared, you have to be calm. And to be calm, you should prepare well. It's a bit of a loop here. All right. So what I want you to do is first prepare. But then your confidence should be good. And for confidence to be good, you should see JEE problems again and again. Okay, like that JEE problem I've solved. I know what they're actually trying to ask. I know where they try to trick me into giving the wrong answer. So those things are what you should be starting to look out for, but that'll happen after your first or second revision only. Right now, it's very difficult for me to expect you to do that only. All right. But I want you to be on the right track. So start solving previous year JEE problems. Okay, can you do that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so there, whenever you get a doubt and all, please write it in that logbook I told you. Right? Whatever I'm telling here is very useful. All right, you're just making your studying analytical. You're not thinking too much about it. So people study blindly and they get tensed because they have no reference point. Now, I'm telling you how to keep reference points. Just rate yourself out of 5. All right. And then whatever mistake you're making, just note it somewhere behind. And then just read that before the exam. That's it. All right. You'll understand that an exam is it should become a calming experience. You go to an exam hall, take few deep breaths and calmly write the exam. That's the idea. Not frantically, oh my God, this is that is that. No, that's not how you write an exam. You have to be there and calmly do it. If time is not there, okay, it's fine. Not a big deal. People have scored lesser than you also. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, the score does not matter, but how you write the exam actually matters. All right. So start practicing. That's what I have for you. Right? Guys, any doubts you have today's class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, we'll reach integration soon. Okay, so once we do inverse, and then we'll get into calculus, and then we'll do the 11th standard interesting topics as well. Okay. All right, then if you have no doubts, you can leave. Otherwise, please ask. I'll be here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
guys.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.